Ladies and gentlemen, Wednesday, October 4th, 2017, special bonus episode of Revenge of the Sis. Episode 16, I believe, officially we're putting on the books today.
That is correct.
And people everywhere still reeling from the bloodiest massacre in modern American history. So, yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about Vegas today, despite Royce and I having a lot of misgivings. We've really argued about this for 3 days straight. By the way, I'm Mersh, and this is, of course, lovely,
Hi,
awesome.
how are you?
My partner, Royce.
There's no need to talk like that.
There's always a reason to talk like that.
No.
Justice.
Okay.
So we, look, we've been suspicious, paranoid, a little bit worked up since we've been, there's just, this, I don't know, this is a new era, so whenever something massive like this happens, there's just so many angles, and there's so much video, and there's so many cell phones, and there's so many witnesses, that a lot of people are finding it very hard right now to believe the official narrative coming out of Las Vegas, that this 60-something-year-old fucking high-stakes gambling, drinking, Filipino-banging man about town launched one of the bloodiest operations since fucking Wounded Knee. So, I don't know. It's weird. We actually had trouble. We will have somebody calling in later to discuss the official narrative and to defend it. But it took me and Royce all day. Yeah, all day to find one guy who was willing to come in and say that this isn't some sort of a fuck job. So, before we get into it, we will establish a few things. First of all, this is not a conspiracy show. Second of all, me and Royce are not conspiracy guys.
We're not.
But we're real skeptics.
Thank you.
But we're not saying that, like, we're not doing the full-blown autistic Alex Jones, Sandy Hook, like, this is a psyop. Like, 58 people are dead. 59 if you include the shooter. People are hurt. People were shot. We're not disputing that. We're not disputing that there are victims in this case, and this is a horrible thing. We're not going to talk about crisis actors and all this ridiculous shit. But we do have some concerns about the official narrative about the Mandalay Bay Massacre. So we pulled up some clips, and we got some stuff, and we put together a little bit of a itinerary here today, and we're going to try to talk it out rationally and calmly. We're not going to try to, like I said, we're not going fucking full-blown Sandy Hook. It was all a hoax. These people are on the news acting. Like, okay, look, fucking dial it down a little bit.
Yes.
We don't believe that. But it's very hard to watch these videos. Having been a guy, I lived right next to Camp Lejeune for like 6 years. It's the second biggest military base in America. It's all Marines. They're constantly training, doing different exercises nearby in your area. You're constantly hearing shit go off. I was friends with many Marines, many 2nd Recon that eventually became MARSOC. I know a lot of these guys. I know what it sounds like when more than one person is firing a gun. Don't give me this echo shit, because I've heard some of these videos, which we'll get into with the taxi driver video, I think is the most damning. There was a taxi driver, very calm taxi driver, parked in, I don't think she was parked in Mandalay Bay. I think she was at the casino or the Tropicana. She was one of the ones across the street. But she was right by this shit. Her video is pretty damning. It's in my opinion, there's more than one gunman in this situation. So I'm a little concerned about that. So we're going to talk about it a little bit today. And according to everybody that we've been hearing from, a lot of you guys aren't buying this shit either. So we felt that we kind of owed it to you guys to talk about this a little bit, despite our misgivings and our reservations, because, again, we don't want to become super conspiracy guys. Like, it's just not our style. But, yeah, that's pretty much...
All right. So you want to start with the taxi driver video? You want to wait to get some people on, or?
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I wanted to hear what your take on this was, because your side of our little. And again, it wasn't an argument. And like me and Royce are screaming at each other, but we were both kind of like, we need to cover this, but we really don't want to cover this.
Look, because we're not. When we made this show, we wanted to be a conservative comedy show, not fucking InfoWars 2.0.
Yeah, not fucking buy colloidal silver and food insurance and rip our shirts off every 2 seconds
Right.
and scream about the globalists and the new world
I mean,
order.
unless you want to sell food insurance, then we'll sell food insurance.
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever. If you're cutting us in, we'll
Yeah.
fucking whatever. But
No.
yeah, we're not saying we're not shills. We're total shills. But we're not these crazy. We're not in a bunker somewhere like, oh man, these Jews are getting everything. No, it's just hard to believe the. It was just some guy up in a room fucking launching a major attack. I don't
Right.
buy it. It's a little weird. So yeah, that's why we I don't know. We kind of had this back and forth. And Royce had his reservations. I too have reservations, but it's like,
Well,
how
here was
much
my
do we
point.
let the people talk about it?
My point is, I want people to talk about it. Absolutely, that's the point of the show. I want people to call in. I want people to talk about it. I want people to feel free to express themselves. Now, what do I know? I know that some of the stuff is a little off, sounds a little off to me. There's an official story, but now that being said, the official story might change. 2 days from now, we don't know. But as far as we know, so far they said it was one shooter. Correct?
They're saying yes. It was just Stephen Paddock, who was a
My thing is
gambler
that
guy.
I am fine questioning the one story. I just don't want to go down the path like, I don't know, Alex Jones would and be like, and see, Alex Jones, like if you listen to the first 2/3 of what Alex Jones says, it's smart stuff. But then at the end, when he connects it to these weird things,
Yeah, he'll be
that's
like-
the problem.
He'll be like, folks, these what's happening is these globalists are flushing they're flushing all kinds of chemicals down their toilets, birth control and what have you, and it's turning frogs gay. And then it turns out Newsweek the next week's like, holy shit, there are gay frogs right near the birth
right.
control. And you go, wow, Alex Jones, man. And then 2 minutes later, he's like, by the way, coming up next, video proof that Michelle Obama is a transsexual. And you're like, God damn it, Alex. You had me at the gay frogs.
Right.
And then you had to go full tranny first lady, and it's like, come on, bro. Just dial it back a little bit, Alex. So we're not that show.
No.
That being said, this whole scenario is just, there's too much video. There's too much footage. There's too many conflicting accounts of what's going on. And it just seems like anybody who was there, they're saying there were other gunmen. They fucking literally said, I saw gunmen with my own eyes. And we're not talking later on when shit started getting real, when I'm sure they were setting up strike teams and everybody was panicking. And I'm sure you see some SWAT guy, you might be like, oh my God, militia person. This is early on. This is like early when the fucking shit first started breaking out. I mean, there are police scanners that clearly say multiple shooters spotted in the Tropicana. It's weird. There were black vehicles. A lot of the stuff that happened that night lines up perfectly with a very creepy post that was on 4chan that I verified myself was actually on there about 3 weeks prior, where they discussed there was going to be a high impact incident in Vegas. And that it was going to be gun control related. They were going to push this narrative. They named a lot of stuff. And again, it's 4chan. Take it with a grain of salt. Could it be a coincidence that this guy fucking just wrote this crazy shit and then this thing happened? Sure. But, pretty fucking weird. Because he even had a pretty specific time frame. So it's not like, you'd have to be really fucking lucky or know something. So, and again, I'm not saying government psyop. The government's trying to. But I don't believe that a fucking old man gambler drunk guy built two fucking turret platforms in a hotel, had the foresight to bring a giant hammer to smash the windows. There's also pictures of a fucking note in the room, like with some tape on it. They haven't released a note yet. He supposedly set up so much fucking surveillance in and around the room that to me, it's like, okay, yeah, he could have been a smart guy. He could have been planning this. But Jesus, dude, this was like, nobody'd be able to do this without help. And just listen to the videos, dude. To me, you can clearly hear multiple gunshots in the taxi driver video, which I believe we can get to. You want to?
Yeah,
play that?
let's do it right now.
Producer, cut one taxi driver video. This is yeah. It takes a little sec. It takes a second to warm
Yeah,
up here.
it sounds like automatic gunfire.
See, this was a taxi driver, right?
Yeah, this was a taxi driver. Very calm.
Now it sounds like it's coming from farther away.
Now that's the gunshots from far away. That's not echoes. And then wait a second now.
Oh shit!
Now listen, those are echoes. Let's get something straight. Now if you play that, just go back like a few seconds to where he pops off here. Go. There's the live shots. Echoes. But there's overlapping. You hear that? There's overlapping gunfire here. That's not like in my fucking brain, like I'm this crazy paranoid guy. Again, I lived for 6-7 years in an inlet in North Carolina where they fucking Navy and the Marines do their testing all day long. Live fire, all that shit. Mm-hmm. That is distinctly two guns going off. Maybe somebody who's trying to return fire. I don't know, but that's not one gunman. There is the bop 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 bop. The mark. Whoa, dude!
It was him. It was Mark Levin. It had to be.
Dude, my mind is blown. The second gunman was just Mark Levin interrupting somebody in the background. I'm convinced.
All right, let's see.
Case
Hold on,
closed.
let's see over here.
This is. Echo. Shots. Second pair of gunshots. That's another gun far away. That's not an echo. Then the echoes. That's fucking strange, dude. Unless he was fucking Ramboing it with two fucking guns, which I doubt. Anybody who saw a picture of this fucking guy wasn't exactly he wasn't exactly fucking, you more shredded than a Julian salad. Like, he's not.
Right.
He was not in shape, dude. I've tried, dude. Have you ever tried to lift up? You've shot an assault rifle before, right?
No, I've shot handguns before, not an assault rifle.
I've shot an M4. What is it? M4, and I've shot an AR-15. I have jokingly in the past tried to lift up two, like AR-15s that aren't loaded, like just to fuck around for a photo op. Yeah, you can do it, but you're not fucking getting off any realistic shots with two of them in your hand. The fucking recoil alone, and then if you had bump stocks on them, you're not you're not dual wielding with bump stocks. It's not happening.
Yeah, the Terminator.
So tell me why, clearly, I can hear more than fucking two sets of gunshots. You got a lady who goes on stage, reportedly by multiple witnesses, a lady that goes on stage, not on stage, I'm sorry, rather, but near the stage area, and is screaming.
Something's going on. I'm not sure why people aren't running, but...
By the way, very, very
Where's the security
insightful,
guard? What's she
astute
doing?
observation, lady. Something's going on. You think?
You know, for there being gunfire,
This lady's so
sure
calm.
doesn't seem like people are running.
Do you understand the kind of fucked up life?
Shit. Seriously, I don't know what's going on.
You hear that? Those are two guns. I love, though, this lady, you gotta understand how fucked up a Vegas
Where are the
taxi
cops
driver's
at?
life is. That they're surrounded by multiple fucking automatic gunfire, and they're like, man, these people need to start getting inside. She's just so calm. Boy, something's going on out there, don't you know? I would sure be running inside one of these lobbies, you know. And they're just out here listening to their country music.
He called me a jerk. Oh, he didn't use that word.
Dude, by the way, at the end of this video, we're not even going to play it, but there's a great part where this fucking taxi driver had the balls to ask the people screaming and crying in the back seat if they had money. That was my favorite part of her video. And then she does that thing where you try to play it off like you're kidding. She goes, "You guys have money, right?" And they're like, "Are you fucking kidding me, lady?" And she's like, "Ah, I was just kidding."
Oh, I have to hear that.
I watched that clip fucking over and over
Do you
last night.
know when?
It's towards I would say it's right around there. Yeah, right where she starts picking people up. She actually...
What? Mom, I can't. I'm gonna
No, it's before this because somebody's in it. But there's a part where somebody comes up to... It's earlier than this, too. I guess it might be. I just know that she gets to a point where she picks some people up. And you can actually hear... I don't know where it is, though. I know I saw it multiple times. She was in the car and she goes, "Fucking, does anybody have money?" And they were like, "Are you fucking serious, lady?" I'll try to find it during the break.
Okay.
But yeah, it was legit. But you know, levity aside, this does not feel like doesn't feel like I don't know. I'm not buying a legit story. I had somebody say to me today, they didn't want to call in, but they were like, "Oh, the official story right now is just that they don't know the official story. So yeah, I mean, that seems reasonable." I'm like, no, the official story is that this one guy managed to mow down all of Las Vegas, and that seems kind of... And I believe we have Jonathan Lee Riches on the phone, JLR, who has been doing listen, Johnny's a cool guy. I never know what's real and what's not with him. So it's
the art of confusion. What up, guys?
How are you, man? Good to have you on the show finally.
Hey, first off, I apologize for not meeting up with you guys in Washington. You know, I was down there. I was actually trolling Antifa, the Antifa people pretty hard. You know, you know, making videos of them, taking pictures of them, following them around, you know, antagonizing them a little bit. So I was kind of busy that day.
We did try to meet up with JLR when we were up there. We even had a press pass we were going to give him. We're going to join forces. But the problem was, too, we ended up, a lot of our help bailed on us. So you had me and Royce trying to get 2 rallies, run around, get interviews, lug cameras, walking around the National Mall. Like, we wanted to get with you, but by the time you got back in touch with us, we were like, dude, we're sweaty. We need to go get food. We need to get to this next rally. Like, we worked 11 hours, and I believe we walked a total of 12 miles.
Yeah, it was
with
crazy.
Just bags, and it was, dude. That was we wanted to meet up with you, but it was just not gonna. We weren't gonna manage to do that.
Same here. I left early in the morning, probably about 6 a.m. Got down. You know, I'm from Philadelphia, so it took me about 2.5 hours to get down. So I stayed down there to probably like 7 o'clock. Got back probably later on that evening, but I was, you know, totally exhausted from walking around that National Mall. Going from the Capitol all the way down to the Lincoln Memorial is pretty, you know, that's a long distance.
Dude, try doing that shit with a bag with like 4 cameras, a boom mic, live streaming, a selfie stick, and then also a giant bag of Faygo soda to hand
remember,
out to juggalos.
I'm the Cuban guy, so I had to lug everything around. So.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. You had to also carry me. It was very
true.
weird.
It's all true.
So, Johnny, you've been kind of into this whole thing. I mean, this is right up your alley. So, I mean, you've been sorting through some of the BS trolling stuff. Which, look, I'm not gonna lie, we're guilty of too. It's fucking. It's infotainment, folks. So it's kind of what we do.
Ultimately, after this event happened, you've seen it. Obviously, you know, I didn't catch wind of it till probably early in the morning, Monday morning, probably about 5 o'clock. Usually, I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So then it came over the wire what was going on. I didn't really know to the extent of it. I knew it was serious, but I set up whenever these, you know, disasters, attacks, different things happen all across the country. I set up these Facebook groups. So, you know, I set up a Facebook group instantly about that topic, you know, the Las Vegas shooting. And then, you know, I said the suspect's name once it came out, you know, put that in the title heading. And then everyone seems to flock to that group. You know, right now we're at like 6,000 strong. So 6,000 people are in the group. A lot of people are presenting theories, it's more or less a depot of information. So I'm hearing everything from across the board, from conspiracy theorists to actually relatives of the shooter in that group. People with whatever information they can provide and dump it in, and then let everyone go with what they want to go with.
Now, are the reports that Mary Lou Danley lawyered up true?
Well, I'm seeing it on Twitter. They're saying basically is, some of the, mainstream media is reporting as soon as she got off the plane, she was wheeled out in a wheelchair. I don't know if she was previously walking before she went over to the Philippines or Tokyo or Hong Kong, wherever she was at overseas. I think, was it Tokyo or it was Hong Kong, correct?
I thought it was the Philippines.
It was the Philippines, but then, other reports were saying other Asian cities that she was possibly in or whatnot. But
I don't know. All those Asian cities look alike.
Yeah, exactly. Well, she got reeled. It was seen on camera. She got wheeled away with the FBI in a wheelchair. Now, reports are saying that she's right now currently at the FBI field office in Los Angeles. I don't know if the feds talked to her last night and let her go and then called her back in, or she's been in continuous custody of the, I wouldn't say custody because I'm not sure if she's under arrest, but, interrogation by the FBI, or they're waiting for her to get her lawyer to speak to her. I don't know that at this time.
Yeah, it just seems strange. Like, I feel like if you're not guilty, and I know this is like the cheesy old fucking like Blue Lives Matter approach to justice. If you ain't guilty, you ain't got nothing to be scared about. But let's be honest. If my fucking, significant other went crazy and shot up Vegas and they wanted me to come meet with them, I don't think lawyering up would be my fucking first priority if I had nothing to do with the scenario. You know what I mean? Like, I would probably just go, I'll tell you whatever you want to know. Like, I'm as crushed as you are right now,
Well, her naturalization or her immigration papers are posted online. I think she's already in deep water anyway for lying on those forms. I mean, she said her date of birth she was born in the late 1940s, and in reality, she was born in the early 1950s.
She has two. Also has two social security numbers, if I believe.
Security cards, multiple identities. So I think
married,
she's already
she's
in
also,
hot water.
She was
they
also
have her.
If I recall correctly, she's also married. She was married to two different people at the same time. She was straight double live in it. She's not helping to squash any conspiracy theory stuff going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the feds, their tactics are they're going to squeeze her. Using that possibly indictment, or as far as maybe lying on federal documents, 18 U.S.C. 1001, lying on federal documents to kind of squeeze her to provide more information. Or they might do like what they did with the Pulse nightclub shooter, Noor Solomon. I don't know, you remember her.
She got charged, I think, right?
She got charged with, not reporting the crime and whatnot. The feds have a lot of statutes they can run with, but I definitely believe that they're going to do something with her to put pressure on her to either cooperate or maybe she was involved. Who knows? It's still in the early preliminary stage. Everything is still fluid. We'll have to see. I mean, it was reported that she left for the Philippines or left for wherever she went overseas a day before he checked into the Mandalay Bay.
It is
and it's been reported that $100,000 got wired. So there's a lot of things that's going on here.
Now there were
people want to.
There were reports that a lady was screaming something about "you're all going to die" 45 minutes before this thing happened. Has there been any confirmation of that by more than just? Is that
I
more
haven't
than just
seen
a rumor?
anything. But some witnesses that were giving media interviews. They were saying a Spanish woman, some sort of woman came up to the front stage and was screaming, being belligerent, telling everybody they're going to die.
Which is not completely.
She was eventually escorted out by security, and this was probably about 45 minutes before the actual shooting started taking place, probably around 9:45 p.m. their time.
And to be fair to our listeners, because we're not going to subscribe to every conspiracy theory here, it's not uncommon for Latino women to be screaming in front of a group of people that they're all going to die.
That's
very
true.
common.
100% true.
Having lived in Florida and New York, I can tell you that's pretty much a daily occurrence in the Bronx.
Now, why would a Latina woman be at a country concert? That's
real
question.
You've seen some of the people in that crowd. You've seen the guy standing while the shooting was with a beer in his hand, giving the Mandalay Bay the finger. while everyone else was ducking, for cover. He's standing up on camera yelling at the shooter, saying, "Come shoot me," and with a beer in his hand. So, they were interesting characters at that event.
Yeah, I could just
That was a
imagine
brave
him just
man.
like, man,
Kind of,
fuck you,
comical.
queer. Luke Bryan was going to be next. Now I can't see him. Just fucking all mad and shit. People throwing signed Dale Earnhardt Jr. replica little toy cars at the guy. Just fucking trying to take him out. Oh, man. So do you have any... what's your opinion?
So now we have what's my opinion?
Like overall, do you have an overall opinion as to what transpired that day?
My mind I'm always open-minded to different things. Obviously, we had the disaster in Puerto Rico, that my mind's starting to think, oh, this is a diversion away from what happened in Puerto Rico, to get the Trump administration off the hook, or, kind of, because it was starting to get out of hand where people were saying Trump wasn't, FEMA wasn't helping the residents of Puerto Rico. So this was like a false flag diversion. It could, I'm hearing other things, with the assault weapons, the false flag attack that way. Those are two things I'm hearing, or it could just be a random nut job. I'm also hearing Antifa, this could be like a leftist, because there's pictures circulating of this man in a pink sweatshirt up at one of these anti-Trump rallies, 1 month prior in Reno. He has property in Reno that he was there, and, he's part of that, not never Trumpers, but the resist Trump movement, the Antifa, the impeach Trump type of, leftist that, one can't, assassinate the president. So he takes it out on the president's base, which is country music, followers and listeners. So, I'm hearing a bunch of different things, and I'm open-minded to everything too that comes out. I'm just right now basically going through the brainstorming, just trying to put everything together and figure out what's going on here. And that's part of the group here. The part of the group is different people's, opinions and personalities. People, people are now posting, this guy has pilot records, different planes that he flew in the past, and different, CEO executives that he was, flying around across the country, in his plane. There's different new. Every day we're learning a little bit more about this individual. His gambling lifestyle is a lot of people are saying now, there's speculation that his father, which was a bank robber in the late 50s, early 60s, went to federal prison for 20 years, escaped in 1969 and went up to Oregon. They're trying to connect him with D.B. Cooper, because D.B. Cooper, did his infamous plane, hijacking in 1971. So everyone's trying to
yeah, but I mean that's of course, and that's what we refuse to do on the show. We told people straight up, we're not going to get fantastical with all these crazy theories.
Yeah,
I want
like 6 degrees of separation kind of deal.
But to also to just accept that, because as you said, a lot is coming out about this guy, but the more that comes out about him, the less he seems like an elite fucking, American killer. Like, he just doesn't. Like, this whole thing stinks. All you got to do is watch these videos. That's not one gun going off. It's not. And he's not dual wielding it. It's not a fucking video game. So you're talking about guns going off from, and I'm not talking about the echoes. I'm talking about there are guns going off overlapping with the echoes. There are times in the videos where 2 guns distinctly are going off at the same time.
Well, there was also other video footage, people claiming 2 shooters. One was coming from the 4th floor. I don't know if you guys heard about the 4th floor theory. There was coming out of the 32nd floor and the 4th floor. But that was kind of debunked, because later on they were showing live footages after the shooting of this light flickering out of that 4th floor. So they were just basically saying it was lighting, even though you could hear sound coming out, the air or whatnot. But that particular 4th floor just had some, like a faulty lighting that just kept blinking on and off, that would make it look like there's shooting coming out of it.
And
so
actually,
that conspiracy theory kind of got debunked.
And also, but to your point, actually, we do have a clip that we're just going to play real quick. This was an eyewitness account, like right while this shit was happening. And this woman, she's a bit of a dopey bitch, but she seems genuine.
Everyone started to get up to run. They just kept shooting, and it's like literally like 5 minutes of just shooting, and people just kept dropping. And it was definitely someone on the ground. Definitely, most definitely. The way they heard it the crowd and all of us, and then they kept coming. They even came into the back stop parking lot.
So in
and
case,
shot
because
them
the
up.
audio on this is
So
pretty
they
shitty,
just
so
kept coming.
to summarize, there's
it
a
was,
woman.
It was recorded off of TV.
Yeah, this is a woman who was live at the scene, and this is another. I think the reason why this video is recorded off of TV is probably because it's a hard to find interview now. It's
Yeah.
probably some of the information getting buried. But this woman made it very clear that multiple people on the scene were under the impression of a very realistic impression that there was more than one shooter, that there may have been a shooter on the ground. And I get it. People are panicked. They're not fucking thinking clearly. But to have so many people say it was not just the Mandalay Bay where bullets were coming from. I saw a dude with a gun on the ground. We're not talking about 10 minutes into the attack when SWAT teams and strike teams come. We're talking about as the shit unfolds. Who the fuck's walking around down there with a gun? Why are so many people claiming there was more than one gunman? They were there. I wasn't. You weren't. So I would be more apt to believe them than I would, what, the government? The media? Fuck out of here.
Well, I mean, you know, I get what you're saying. She was panicked. I'm not believing the media either. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm saying, yeah, that's what happened. I'm just saying, like, you know, is the official story that's it, or are they still investigating?
I feel like they're already.
Well, they haven't ruled out. You know, you don't have investigators that came forward that, you know, flat out said, "Hey, this isn't terrorism or anything." They didn't say it wasn't. But they also didn't say it was. So no one really has an answer. I think the question right now is the motive. Like, what is the motive here?
Right.
Why did this guy do this, or these people, or other people involved? I mean,
Yeah.
you know, is this guy deep have deep pockets and involved with deep state? You know, people want to know if other people are involved. No one is the police. The sheriff Lombardo, he's out of Las Vegas. He's out of Clark County. He's very mum on the motive of what happened. He's providing very limited details at this point. And I can understand it's still, you know, only a few days away. You know, it only happened a few days ago. So they're trying to figure it out.
But I mean, and I get it. And that's why I want to give them some breathing room, let them give us a story that makes sense from this. But, you know, it's like most of these guys, these historical, you know, kills 30 people, kills 58 people, kills 12 people. Anybody who kills more than like 10 people, you're talking about a malignant, psychotic narcissist, a person who probably would have made. You're talking about Elliot Rogers. You're talking about Dylan Klebold, Eric Harris's, people that would make a fucking series of videos. They can't resist the urge to express their rage, not only with violence, but to leave something behind. Ted Kaczynski, all these people, the McVeighs, all of these people have one common thread. They usually at least let you know why the fuck they did it. Women don't like me. People were mean to me in school. My dad fucking used to put cigarettes out on me. Whatever. They're fucking awful, irrelevant excuse for killing 58 people is. We usually get one. You don't get a guy that was literally playing blackjack the night before and getting his dick sucked by some Filipino, and all of a sudden, hey, I'm going to build these sniper platforms and unload on a bunch of fellow country fans. Doesn't make sense. The narrative just doesn't add up to me, which is why I'm kind of, you know, and then again, with the multiple shooter things, you can have 100 people call in right now. You can have fucking CIA and fucking FBI investigators and cops from Vegas PD call me right now and tell me there weren't multiple shooters, and I will tell them to suck my dick. There was multiple shooters in several videos that I listened to.
I wonder if we could talk to
Yeah,
somebody
you
that
know,
was there.
and other things are coming out now saying the man, you know, was on psych medication, some prescribed medication called Valium. I don't know how to pronounce that. You know, he was just prescribed that a couple months ago. You know, and then they're also saying that the shooter was obsessed with his girlfriend's ex-husband from Arkansas. Like, he had an obsession for him, and you know, and there was. You know, at the time when this incident happened and they were looking for Mary Lou Danley, she did have a Facebook page up. You know, when I myself, you know, was going through her Facebook page trying to screenshot, you know, shot stuff, and you know, before she ultimately deleted it, you know, she deleted it probably a few hours later, and I could probably understand why, because she was probably getting flooded with messages and people with hate, you know, just, you know, pounding, and she probably didn't know what was going on if she's in fact innocent, so she deleted her Facebook page, but. You know, there is a lot of material on her page. There was a lot where her ex-husband was still communicating with her by, you know, commenting on her posts recently, you know, within 3 or 4 months. You could
I saw
clearly
that from
see
your
him,
stuff.
saying, "You're beautiful, I miss you," and different things like that. So maybe that's a little understanding why this dude, Paddock, maybe snapped, because
Okay, but he
maybe
snapped.
she was still involved.
But you're saying, like, 'cause I've heard this theory that she was still fucking around with multiple guys, and he fucking snaps. Why would you send that thought 100K before you shoot up a fucking bunch of innocent people at a Jason Aldean concert?
Exactly.
That seems to be a narrative that I'm like, I don't like. Again, if you told me Stephen Paddock went and he cut the head off of Mary Lou Danley with a fucking samurai sword and then killed this other guy, I'd be like, all right, well, hey, don't fuck a dude's girlfriend. You might get a samurai sword to the throat. But you're talking about him. That took 3 days of. Do you understand, dude, that I've had women do some fucking vicious things to me over the years? I mean, vicious. And I've been made a cuckold in very public formats. Do you understand the amount of thought and effort that still goes into building a nest of death in the 32nd floor of a Mandalay Bay suite? Knocking out windows with a hammer and building platforms to shoot off of. Like, that's not hey, this girl cheated on me, I'm going to go kill fucking 58 people. That's 3 days of meticulous planning. And at some point in that 3 days, this motherfucker would have been cell phone cameras. He would have been talking to some kind of camera, like the narcissist that these fucking alleged murderers always are. There's nobody ever just snaps and kills 60 people. They always make a letter or make a video, then they snap and kill 60 people. They want their fucking time in the sun. Like every other...
going back to the 100K on, why would he do that? His brother Eric from Orlando, Florida, he gave a rambling interview yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that.
Second interview.
I saw that.
It was like 30-something minutes. But, that was the question presented to him. Why would he wire $100,000? And he was trying to justify that by saying, people in his, wealth and his he was capable of doing that. He was saying that's like just sending $100,000 for him is like us going to a public supermarket. Like it's nothing. It was like he would throw that around like nothing. Like he had the money to do it. So his brother, his brother was acting like he just gives to all his family members, including the brother. The brother said my mother, which was Paddock's mother, was financially well off because of Stephen. He was well off because of Stephen, so he was sending $100,000 over to the Philippines to help his girlfriend's family, build a house or whatnot. He was trying to give justification for that. But like you said, I don't know if he had marital or if he had girlfriend problems, relationship problems, why would he do that?
Yeah, the last person you're going to send 100K to is the bitch that made you snap and kill 58 people at a Jason Aldean show. At least that's my, you know what I mean? It would have made more sense if he gave gave it to a random charity or something. But I don't buy the theory that she was cheating on. Like,
you want to hear some of the interview?
Yeah, dude, by the way, before we even start this interview, I just want to point out, a lot of people find this guy to be like suspect and weird in his answers, but he also just had his brother commit one of the most violent acts in American history, supposedly. And I know what being on drugs looks like, and I'm not judging this man, but as being a guy who's used drugs as a coping mechanism, I believe everything that's weird about this guy could be just boiled down to the fact that I think he took a little bit of opiates, if you ask me.
Thank you. That was an update that I didn't have because I took my mom to the doctor.
How's your mom
Supposedly, Steve. I'm sorry.
How's your mom doing?
She's okay. I mean, do you want that kind of background real quick about my mom? I mean, my mom was born in the Depression. She's had a tough life. Her husband was a total hole. He ran off, left her with 4 kids. She raised 4 kids on a secretary's salary in the 60s and 70s. And some of us weren't real good kids. I mean, you guys are probably going to investigate me. I wasn't a wonderful human being when I was a kid. We were bad kids, okay?
Yeah, I think you might be on something.
Yeah, and don't worry, Eric. I don't think that when the history books are written, you're going to be remembered as the worst of the Paddock brothers.
Yeah.
So I think you can calm down a little bit. You guys are really going to go after me, huh? No, it's okay. I think we hate the other
But
guy more.
TMZ's put out a report today about the other brother. He has another brother from Los Angeles area named Bruce
Named
Paddock.
Cooper Paddock. I know, and
they
he
listed
didn't play
his,
football.
you know, they listed his criminal record. You know, he has convictions of arson, burglary, simple assault, drugs. You know, so they're trying to put him, you know, not making him an angel. They're trying to kind of smear him a little bit.
Yeah, it's just, to me, this whole thing is bizarre. I need to see the videos that he supposedly made of himself. And I'm not, this isn't just fucking me being like, morbid curiosity. If you're really that fucking morbid and you're addicted to gore porn, then watching the videos from the ground technically is more satisfying. That's not my style. I want to see the videos of this dude with his little earbuds in, listening to fucking Cannibal Corpse or whatever he was listening to, or Drake, while he was laying into these Jason Aldean.
By the way, what a big difference. Either Cannibal Corpse or Drake.
Well, I'm thinking it's either
There's
like,
a wide gap there.
Well, I know,
dude.
but it's like you're thinking either hip hop or metal. What else are you going to murder 58 people at a Jason Aldean concert to? You got something? Mambo number 5.
Well, now you took my answer.
Well, did
now
you
I
know
want to
that
say it.
they actually said, you know, there was actually reports a week prior he was scouting. He was scouting another high-rise building that he stayed at. He was possibly going to attack at a venue that was hosting Chance the Rapper. I don't know if you guys heard of Chance the Rapper, but he was at an event somewhere out there a week prior, and he was maybe scouting and possibly using that as a target instead. That's been out there also, and NBC has put that out there.
For those of you that don't know, Chance the Rapper is one of these inexplicably famous guys, but he's one of those guys that's like, I only rap about video games and hanging out in the suburbs. I fucking hate Chance the Rapper. I would,
you know, if that was the case, then the whole left would go up with a different narrative saying that he's like premise this time. You know, we targeted.
It would be white nationalist,
American,
white nationalist Stephen
African-American
Paddock.
community.
Yeah, white nationalist Stephen Paddock may have had connections to the Traditionalist Workers' Party. We're investigating now. Paddock, Parrot, make the connections, folks. White nationalist.
What does a parrot have to do with anything?
Matt Parrot. We're Parrot.
Okay, well, whatever.
I'm just now I'm obsessed with voices. All I can think of is it's fucking Mambo number 5 playing.
Yeah,
as you use an AR Bushmaster.
A little bit America by my side. Margaritas, all I need.
So the internet sleuths are still trying to figure out, you know, how he paid for that particular room at Mandalay Bay
with his
you know,
money.
how many days he actually. Well, some are speculating it was comped because he's a regular gambler, but then people are saying if it's comped, then you know they could tell him to leave that room at any time.
Wait
you know,
a
like
minute.
with
I
you know he's
think-
not going. You know, he checked in with the 28th of September. You know, if it was comped, they might tell him the next day, hey, we got to put you in another room. You know this. So people are saying maybe he, you know, prepaid for the room for, you know, a particular amount of days, and people want to know up to what day did he pay for the room? I mean, I know the incident happened on the night of the 1st. Did he pay for the room to the 2nd or the 3rd? Or, you know, people are trying to figure this out, but, you know, again, police are mum and they, you know, don't provide a lot of details at this time.
I mean, you know, again.
And then InfoWars comes out with some material saying on the 27th, the day before, one of these waiters is insisting that he gave room service to that room with him in it, and it was for 2 people. You know, a $60-something bill with 2 people. So you know, InfoWars is running up with the narrative that there was maybe somebody in the room with him.
That could be any Vegas hooker. I could tell you right now, if I was gonna go light up a fucking concert from a balcony, okay, in a nice glamorous hotel in Vegas, you damn well sure I'm gonna get my ass eaten the night before. There's no reason not to. That seems to me like there's probably just some fucking cute, I'm going to assume Asian hooker. That seems to be his thing.
No, that might be your thing too, though. You might be, you know, putting your thing on him.
No, I'm not the one who wired $100K to some fucking gook before I lit up the fucking.
Whoa!
Before I lit up a fucking country show.
Whoa!
Don't fucking put that shit on me. I don't like Asian bitches. I like mixed.
Hey, Private Pile, you want to calm down? Jesus.
Private Pile never made it to Vietnam. That's a bad
That's
reference.
a good point.
You know, you'd have to go with Cowboy or Animal Mother. Animal Mother.
Joker?
The best one. Well, anyway, we are inching ever so closer to break, so this is going to be the few minutes where we shill anyway. So we're gonna end this call and thank you.
Thanks, dude.
Jonathan Lee Riches, do you want to promote anything?
Yes. Plug your stuff, sir.
No, on Facebook, if anyone's interested in coming to the group and just seeing the material that's put out there, because there is a lot of different theories. A lot of people are presenting, a lot of material in reference to this case. Just go in, the Facebook search and put in Las Vegas shooting, Stephen Paddock, put those keywords and you'll see a group with about 6,000. It's the biggest one out there. It's 6,000 and growing. And you just come on in and you can see everything you want in there and, judge for yourself. You can come up with your own opinions, your own theories based on the material that's put in there. It's relevant, it's active. Everyone is presenting stuff, by the minute.
Yeah, maybe share the video in there so people could call in and give their opinion because I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Guys, take it easy, man. I'll
it,
catch up with you guys in the future. There's going to be more of these events.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, don't worry. The West is dying, and we'll have plenty of opportunities to meet in Ground Zero,
exactly.
so don't worry.
All right, man.
Well, November 4th is coming up. The left is coming up with these big, massive protests coming up.
Yeah, I can't wait to smash some fucking commie faces. I hope they come at me. Oh, I'm waiting to come up on one of these lists. Bring it. I'll fucking
Be easy,
kill
guys.
somebody.
Take it easy.
Later.
Take it easy, brother. Jonathan Lee Riches.
He was great.
He is a troll extraordinaire, but it's weird. He is a hybrid of a troll and an actual investigative reporter. I love JLR.
It's great, yeah.
But he does have this fucking Andy Kaufman thing where it's like 1 minute he breaks a story and he blows people's minds, and then 2 minutes later he fucking just goes nuts. Like he's like a self-aware Alex Jones.
Oh, I like
love
that.
JLR.
I like that. That's a good way to describe him. Self-aware Alex Jones.
Oh, man. So, as we inch ever so close to our break here, we're going to open up in the second hour. I do have somebody lined up, I believe, who will be joining us who does believe the official accounting. And then we're going to get into some fun stuff, like figuring out what part of the alt-right you are based on your outfit.
I'm excited for
That's
this.
going to be
guys.
great.
I can't tell you.
But before we go to break, of course, we do want to give you a chance. Hey, guys, check out our Patreon.
Do you need to Patreon?
Hashtag Lauren Southern Voice. Patreon / we're not sorry. We're not sorry. Not we are.
We're not sorry.
We're not sorry. Because
We're not sorry.
We're not sorry.
Is how you spell it.
But,
By the way, because we're gonna be trying to do this stuff that other people aren't reporting, get people that are out and figure this shit out. And
if a couple thousand of you people would fucking donate, then we could have gotten first class comps to Vegas.
oh, by the way, we
could have been there front row for you.
We have been monetized by YouTube. However,
Yeah.
not all our videos.
We've been monetized, but apparently they don't like the Richard Spencer video.
Weird.
Because we have other videos where we've literally advocated rape, and they're green, the little green money signs next to them.
Correct.
Richard Spencer, not so much.
All right. Well, when we come back, we'll have more coverage on the shooting on the special episode of Revenge of the Sis, episode 16.
Woo-hoo, I'm so excited.
did I end up in Canada? Hey. I hate fucking Canada.
Keep it down in there.
I'm an American. Apple pie, lower 48, air supply.
You're an American. Where's your passport?
I don't have one. I told you I never had a passport. I don't want a passport.
Hey, shut up and sleep it off.
Why would I want to come to Canada? So your national health care can make me wait 60 years for a new kidney? Whole country's a bunch of parka-wearing, draft-dodging, chicken shit cowards who didn't have the balls to stay home and fight the Viet Cong to preserve our American way of life. No snow at the Winter Olympics?
Oh,
what the hell was that? It's the Winter Olympics. What are you doing? Holding your cocks, handing out maple leaf sugar loaves.
True patriot.
You couldn't even get the Olympic torch to fucking light right.
Thy son's coming.
Let me get you in the right position.
Second hour, Revenge of the Sis. Phone lines are open, 954-573-2780 if you're listening live. Pretty much this whole special show today on Wednesday where we've been talking about the Vegas shooting, and we talked a little bit about it when it happened, but we wanted to
there's some
delve a little bit deeper into it.
There are a couple little, inconsistencies and some weird little glitches in this story that we like. And again, we're not fucking trying to add any paranoia. It's not, the government's trying to kill you. But there's something weird about the official narrative and the fact that, I've seen enough videos. It's not one gunman. So somebody's out there. So he's doing something. So it's not just some Asian pussy-loving gambler. That's for sure. So, yeah, I do have somebody that I'm in touch with right now. I'm trying to get him to call in now next. Somebody who actually does believe the official narrative. So, I'm actually just sorry. I had no internet. I lost my internet like fucking 20 minutes ago, which is why I was even with JLR on the phone. I was panicking and we were having issues. We've been having issues all around today. It's fucking weird. It's the deep state.
It is.
Gray state. So, yeah. So we're just a little weirded out by this whole thing. I don't think Stephen Paddock is a lone gunman. I don't think this man would have been capable of this. Even if you get, all right, look, I've probably, if I had my glasses and my stuff, and I, went to the range a few times, I could probably outdo Stephen Paddock. And I don't think, I could outdo a guy like Stephen Paddock, and I couldn't kill 58 people from a fucking 32nd floor balcony. That shit wouldn't happen. So, So in about 2 minutes, we're going to have another one of our somebody with an opposite opinion about this, and he believes that this is just a crazy leftist idiot, and that he wants to tell us his opinion as far as he does. He does think that there's a report, too, that this guy had Antifa literature on him. But I wouldn't trust the sources on that.
There's a lot of stuff coming out. This is a lot of things, and I mean, it sucks that we live in a culture now where nobody trusts any media at all. It's crazy.
I actually like it. I like the fact that nobody trusts.
Yeah, but at some point, how do you get the facts?
From InfoWars, like a normal person.
Again, I don't want to be InfoWars. Man. But I will agree. There's a lot of stuff that we saw. We had the interview of the girl we saw that was there's some stuff that's a little weird, and I wouldn't be surprised. I hope when the report comes out.
Did you play the third video I sent you? The quick little, it's sort of like it's from a different perspective. It's not the taxi driver video. It was the third link I sent you today for the prep, but it's, there is another one where basically from ground zero where the shooting was happening, and this was another one where I'm like...
Ground zero?
Oh, dude.
I'm buying that. It doesn't sound like gunfire.
That's echoes. That's overlapping gunfire. It's not automatic. That's not a fucking crank trigger. That's two guns Like there's clearly 3 sets of guns. Like you can hear 2 guns and echoes. Well, I'm fucking crazy. What the fuck is that? That's 2 fucking guns going off.
Hi, caller. Who's this?
Hi, it's Sam Jenkins.
Sam, thank you for joining us today. Yeah, Sam. Sam's one of my buddies, one of my Facebook pals, and like-minded individual when it comes to some things. But yeah, dude, you're one of the only people I could find today that actually has at least a less suspicious view of this thing than my. Like literally, I've never been in a situation like this. America sort of has a history of mass tragedies. We do these very well. We do it all the time. But this is one of the first times I've ever seen most people just not fucking buying it. What's your take on this whole thing?
Well, I've been pretty far down the conspiracy theory rabbit hole, and so I just like to back off sometimes and just take things with a grain of salt,
Fair.
and just kind of go with the simplest plausible explanation. And to me, the whatever you would define as the mainstream explanation, it seems plausible.
So you're leaning
that
on
one
the
guy could have pulled this off.
So you're leaning on the Occam's razor approach to this, basically.
Yeah, sort of. And I don't know, the evidence for multiple shooters. There's no 4th floor. There's no broken window on the 4th floor or whatever. So to me, I'm just like,
I get that, but
until there's further evidence.
I mean, but it doesn't. Again, yeah, there's no visual evidence. At least not any completely confirmed visual evidence that there's a second shooter. But listening to some of these, I don't know how many videos you've seen from the scene. There are a lot of videos. You haven't seen any videos that lead you to believe, just from the sounds, echoes aside, because there's a lot of big, tall buildings and it's a desert. So obviously echoes are going to be a bitch. That aside, you don't think that it sounds almost like there's multiple guns going off, sometimes almost at the same time.
I don't know. I've only watched a few videos, but, there's that, 30-second gap between the first shooting, the first gunfire and then the next. And it seems like that would be the time period where he walks from one room to the other,
Yeah, and I mean,
and it's just so dark. I mean, it's so dark and hazy, and people are all in a panic. So, people's testimonials, they could be kind of warped because no one really knew what the fuck was going on in the moment. So
now that to your point, that's true. But again, when you have people that are basically saying you when you deal with somebody who's been through some shit, any kind of shit, it could be a fucking car accident, it could just be they saw a fight at a bar and some dude got killed. People tend to really they get a little hysterical. But when you have somebody that says, no, there was a fucking dude with a gun on ground level, I fucking saw him with my own eyes, don't tell me I'm crazy. That's when you have to go, oh, okay, this is a little weird. I just, again, when I examine some of these videos and I hear the gunshots, I can clearly hear gunfire, I can hear echoes, and I can also at certain times hear overlapping gunfire. So it's a little suspicious to me. Plus, as you said, yes, he did move to 2 different locations. But the 2 different locations that he was shooting from don't justify the extreme change in the pitch, tone. I mean, I know he had other weapons on him too, but it's a very weird change. It really does sound like somebody's further away shooting. It's not the echoes.
Well, in my mind, what was the second shooter's motive? Is this a conspiracy? Is he just working with one other guy, or in isolation, or what?
Well, I mean, that's where I don't want to, we've said that on this show. We don't want to become the conspiracy show. I'm not going to rip my shirt off like Alex Jones and be like, government, deep state, I've got the documents. But we are asking these questions. because it's like, all right, fine. There's not 2 gunmen. That's cool. I want a fucking expert. And I don't mean fucking Evan McMullen or one of these fucking paid scumbag shills. I want a real person that I know, or at least I trust, that somebody I know trusts, to come out and say, no, stupid. This is it, or it's echoing off multiple buildings, it's bouncing back. Give me something. Give me an explanation. I'm just asking the question, so I'm not going to start pointing fingers and being like, oh, it's the fucking CIA and gun control and Obama and Kenyans and Muslims. I'm not getting all into this. It's fucking stupid. But I do want to know, why is it that I, being a guy who's lived near a military base during active seasons where they exercise all day, and you can hear it, I know what it sounds like when an exercise is going on and 2 people are shooting each other from massive distances apart.
In my mind, what's the motive? Like, what rational motive could there be for this shooting? From like a, you know,
I mean, what's the motive for fucking running somebody over in Charlottesville? What's the motive? You know what I mean? There's a lot of shit going on right now that really seems to be very senseless and unfocused. So to me,
that's why, just from an intelligence standpoint, like, I don't see why the CIA or someone like that would get involved with something like this. It just seems like, it doesn't seem like their way of doing it. You know, like, yeah, let's just piss off a bunch of like blue-pilled mainstream conservatives. Like, why?
well, I mean, gun control is one of the main theories right now. I mean, look at how quickly they jumped on that.
Yeah, but that's what all the hoaxers say every time there's a shooting. Like, they want gun control, but it never works.
No, but every time one of these things happens, they do take away a little something. They chip away at it every time.
True.
Last time it was, extended mags. And now it's like, oh, well, you can't customize your weapon. And now it's going to be no bump stocks. And now it's going to, you know what I mean? And then eventually you basically get a slingshot with some rocks.
I guess that's plausible. But, like, what, just from a mass media, like, popular point of view, like, they're pushing a bunch of conservatives further right by doing this. Why would they want that?
I mean, control,
dude. It's got to be a red pill kind of experience, bro.
Again, I'm on the fence here about this, but again, to answer that question, hypothetically speaking, it's simple. They've already shown that with Trump. With Trump, he's a populist, so he's going to want to do whatever people make him happy. I mean, look, he fucking cucked out on DACA, so it's like, yeah, they already know that he's malleable to these fucking, especially heartbreaking issues. So they think out of any conservative president, actually, he'd be maybe the easiest one to pass that to. Now, that doesn't mean I believe it, but I mean, is that something that would make sense? Yeah, I mean, if you believe in the whole deep state thing, and there's there's a big conspiracy behind the scenes, and yeah, why not? I mean, what's not to extend it to? Wow, this president has already proven that he's a populist and he's malleable. So just take a big issue. It's like, oh, everyone's screaming dead bodies, dead bodies, dead bodies, and he'll sit down. Well, mark my words. What he did after DACA, mark my words. Within 1 week, he's sitting down again with Pelosi and Schumer, and they're going to talk about gun control. Yep. Mark my fucking words.
Is gun control a populist measure? I mean,
yes.
Is it popular?
Yes. When people die, it always is.
Yeah.
When people die, it always is.
Nah.
Jimmy Kimmel was crying. Jimmy Kimmel was fucking crying on air and saying the GOP needs to fucking pray for forgiveness.
And don't get me wrong, I get it. I would cry too if I fucked Sarah Silverman, but that's not the point. The point is they're really pushing this narrative on us right now. And yeah, I think that have they tried and failed before too? Yes. But they're trying and failing in the past isn't definitive proof that they're not trying again. I've tried and failed to fuck really hot girls before. Ladies, if you're listening and I've tried to fuck you and you said no, I'm going to try again. That's life. That's how life works. You keep trying till you ram it through, whether that's legislation or my mediocre cock.
See, the thing is, why would they need to set it up? Like, these things just happen, They don't need to go through all the effort and expenditure to try and fake a mass shooting, crisis actors, all that bullshit. When there's just crazy, deranged people in all over this country that'll do it for them. Like, sure, they're gonna leverage off that
But
and try and push for gun control, but it never works.
But really,
I mean, not significantly.
Is it really though? When the fucking is it commonplace for a guy who's never been violent in his life, never even got a parking ticket, gambled, got his dick sucked, traveled to the Philippines, living the life.
Dude,
he
this
suddenly
guy-
builds a
this
sniper
guy is
platform.
like-
Hang on, he suddenly builds a sniper platform on the 32nd floor of an expensive suite at Mandalay Bay and fucking basically Battle of Helm's Deeps everybody at a Jason Aldean show. Come on.
Well, I mean, "Live and La Vida Loca" would be another good song. You remember the Mambo number 5?
He's pretty much a professional criminal, though. I mean, he's pretty much a professional psychopath when it comes down to it. I mean, he's a legit successful gambler. He's got lots of money, lots of free time on his hands. He's got some sketchy connections in the Philippines.
All right, sir.
Why
But,
not? I don't know.
All right, so
I mean, it's
let
really
me
a
ask
family
you something,
history
sir.
there.
Why are these?
His dad was a bank robber.
He's outliving me. No, but listen, why are the fucking? But why? First of all, he's not a professional criminal. He's a fucking gambler. Listen. By the way, ironically, MJ Mandalay, who's our friend who passed away 2 years ago, his nickname was MJ Mandalay. That was literally his official name. Rest in peace to MJ. But MJ was a good friend of ours. He was a professional gambler. He literally was Stephen Paddock. But you know what? He was not like a criminal by any means. That's not like, dude, if you can go in somewhere and fucking fleece somebody out of their money willingly, it's not a crime. Joel Osteen's not a criminal, and no guy who plays poker and takes tourist money is a criminal. That's just a hustler.
Yeah, but they got the mind. The mindset is there. Like the mindset to pull that kind of thing off is there.
But dude,
you know,
I sold drugs
you have
for
to
years.
have some pretty
I sold-
convoluted kind of like, I don't know.
But you're talking about moral absolutism. Dude, there's no look. I sold drugs for years. I hung around really shady people. I have literally people in my family that were pimps. Like I come from a shady background. It would take a big escalation in my shadiness to fucking blast off from a balcony, especially when you're not even like. What did he? He had money. He had what was he like? That to me is weird. Again, if this guy was gonna if he was just some crazy mass shooter, those guys are always malignant narcissists. They're always attention seeking. They're always trying to get the fucking validation and the kind of acknowledgement in death that they didn't get in life. These guys always make fucking tapes. I mean, fucking like Columbine shit was way back when even getting a video camera wasn't cheap. Those motherfuckers made tapes. Elliot Rodger made tapes. That weird fucking gook who shot up Georgia Tech fucking made tapes. Everybody always, or Virginia Tech rather. There's always.
The thing is, like we haven't. I don't think anyone searched his computers, interviewed his colleagues extensively, so we can't really get a personality profile on this guy yet. All we have is basically his career and family history, which kind of leads you to assume there's some genetic proclivation to psychopathy there. I mean, look at his dad. Like, that shit can run in the family sometimes. That's my thought.
Dennis says Rose and him were talking the day it happened, and that was the more details were released about the shooter. The whole thing just seemed bizarre. At the absolute least, I believe that all the details haven't been released yet. So that is true. That might be the case. Maybe all the details haven't been released. But I mean, considering to all the other tragic events that have happened by now in these cycle of things, all the details are like. By now, after the Paul shooting happened, we fucking had the guy's name, every person. So by now, if they were going to announce it was another shooter or suspect it was another shooter, don't you think they would have fucking said something by now? Again, I'm not saying I believe that fucking it's a CIA or fucking any of that shit. I'm just saying it is weird if people are saying there was more than one shooter. What would be the reason not to release it? You know.
Well, because you could probably find conflicting circumstantial evidence, and it's been like 3 days. I mean, I'm not drawing conclusions after 3 days. Like, either explanation seems plausible, but until I see like substantial evidence to the contrary, I'm just going with he's some crazy solo whack job.
What
like,
do you all right, well,
but
if you all right, so let's go with the theory that this is just some crazy guy who acted alone. you don't want to. I get you don't want to speculate. We don't want to get all crazy conspiracy with it. But what would your guess be? Your best guess. Your what would you estimate is the? What do you think his motivation was?
Well, there's probably, I don't know, he's obviously Democrat. He's been to these rallies in a pussy hat and all that bullshit. And, you know, his dad looked like one hell of a Shylock, if you ask me. Like, you gotta bring up a photo of this guy. Man, I don't know. He could just have a malignant hatred towards people that he feels are stupid. You know, this guy dupes gullible people for a living. Like, maybe this is just his last fuck you to humanity. Like, someone who does stuff like that for a living. I don't know. You know, he could just really hate people and think that people are just, you know, rodents, just filth, you know, like peons.
Oh, you're thinking the old Travis Bickle theory?
Yeah, something like that.
The old taxi driver, you know
no,
what?
That's not Travis Bickle. That's not fair.
What are you talking about? Travis Bickle, the entire movie's driving around talking about filth and vermin, and he's going to take them off the streets. That's Travis Bickle.
Yeah, but he you know, he actually targeted people he felt were criminals.
Are you pro Travis? Are you advocating for Travis Bickle on our program?
I'm just saying he's a compelling character. Whatever.
Okay, so
save the prostitute.
Yeah, you know who else was a compelling character?
Stephen Paddock
and Hitler. I mean, there's a lot just because they're a compelling character.
Well, don't tell him that.
Whatever. Travis Bickle didn't like spray, you know, just rounds into a crowd of a mass of innocent people. So whatever.
Well, he did try to kill a senator at one point. Let's be fair. He tried to kill Senator Palatine. Okay, and he chickened out.
I think you mean Senator Palpatine. That's the one that became the emperor.
Oh, and then democracy dies.
Correct.
Thunderous applause and bad acting.
Bad acting.
But yeah, so I mean, we wanted to get both sides of this because again, we're not going to be the conspiracy show and not have somebody call in and tell us we're idiots for thinking it's a conspiracy. So at least it's nice and balanced. So I want to thank you for joining us today and for calling in. And do you want to plug anything, man? Doing all right with the listeners, you know.
Man, like
Twitter, you know,
Facebook page. I do Facebook.
Yeah.
I can't. It's sam.jenkins.1023661. What the fuck ever.
It's my dog, Sam Jenkins.
I don't have anything ready to plug, so
that's fine. Do you want to? You could always just shout out somebody else. Like, be like, "Hey, shout out to Kashif or somebody," you know.
Shout out to Jacob Robino.
Oh yeah, he's good peeps.
I don't think he's on right now, but
Jacob Robino's. I know exactly what you're talking about. He's a good guy. He's one of the few good guys out there, actually doing good guy stuff. I'm serious. He's a good dude. So, but anyway, Sam, thank you for joining us today. We're gonna try to we got to drop this Vegas shit now. We're gonna get silly for a little bit. We have to.
Yeah.
Because this is all too much of a fucking drag. So no more dead people.
Speaking of silly, I want to say the middle of the show, Mitch, who also made the lovely
which is why I
logo
lost it,
you saw.
Which is why I felt bad because Sam was talking and I was giggling.
We did
and
a
I
whole
think he
photo
thought I was
shoot.
laughing at him
We
and
did
I
a
wasn't.
whole photo shoot.
Somebody showed me this and I lost my mind.
It's Mike with the toy gun in his nose and me looking at him with disgust, and it says Revenge of the Sith in I would say Sin City style would be the style.
Yeah, we're going we're going full blown aesthetic now.
I love it.
And we're gonna have a new intro for you soon. It's being mixed down right now.
Yeah, Mitch, it's being mixed down right now.
So yeah, that's getting done. And a new commercial, which I started writing last night, and I can confidently say that Royce and I had each other in fucking tears.
It was very funny.
Writing stupid shit.
It was very funny.
So just picture, me and Royce, 80s cops, getting vengeance on the bad guys. We're writing that commercial right now. It's amazing. So what are we doing? Oh man, folks, here it is. Exclusive information about training Michelle Obama.
We have Michelle Obama talking about there's too many white men in government. So let's hear it.
And I've done a lot of conversations over the past several months, and a lot of questions I get from X organization or X industry is that we're working on diversity. What do you recommend we do? And the first thing I recommend is that you
Get a sex change and marry Barack Obama.
Don't do it. Is what I was going to go with.
Yeah,
Don't
okay.
do diversity. It's terrible.
It's stupid.
It makes your company run
But
less good.
Isn't diversity our strength?
No, it's not. Ask England with their barricades of love all over the streets.
Oh, okay. And battery acid of compassion.
Yeah, battery acid of compassion.
Okay.
And trucks of peace.
Okay, trucks of peace.
Truck bombs of peace.
Okay. All right. No, I don't know.
Fucking muzzies.
Oh, let's hear what you say.
You make sure that the problem-solving table is diverse.
Yeah.
You know, you are not going to, there can't be a room full of men who are going to come up with right answers for.
Like the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence,
Yeah.
the Magna Carta.
Yeah, fucking Manifest Destiny.
Letterman's Top 10.
Yeah, inventions.
And, yeah.
The Renaissance.
Going to the moon.
Yeah. Fire.
Yeah. And the rest of the Captain
Hunting
Planet
and gathering.
people. Yeah, both.
Making tribal decisions.
Uh-huh.
Protecting.
Mm-hmm.
95% of workplace fatalities. I love this. I love whenever I make enough points and Royce finally just sniffs.
I'm angry. It's true. It's like, and win 10% of fucking divorce cases. Yeah, no, you're right. It's fucking terrible for you guys. It sucks. Fucking sucks.
Let me put it this way. I've worked in strip clubs on and off for about 13 years. If I could figure out a way to run a strip club without any women in it, I would do that because things would run more smoothly and we would make money. Sorry.
Let's see what this whore says.
Or how to create a work environment that's hospitable to women. And then,
What? They get called
the former first lady.
Yeah, and guess what? And they fucking call Trump's wife a cunt and a slut. So I'm gonna call this bitch a whore.
We're not those people though.
What do you mean those people? Now you're the racist one.
No, I meant that we're not.
Are you happy now?
You're turning this around on me. You're the one who called.
I can't believe you said that.
Former First Lady Michelle Obama.
Give me your
a whore.
badge. Give me your badge.
That's
right now.
Turn in my gun and badge. Sorry, partner. I let us both down.
All right, let's hear what this bitch says.
so be a room full of women. And it can't be a room full of women. The same is true. I mean, true for all of us.
Why does
If
she have
we're
the same,
trying to
like
get
when she
anything done and
motions?
we look around
She talks
and
with her
we all
hands,
look
but she has
alike,
this
we're all
body
sitting
language
around the same-
like she got the wrong cell phone
By the way,
shipped to
I
her.
want to point something else out. I've heard you call Hillary Clinton, a former first lady, a lizard person, robot, cunt, slut. And I make fun of this first lady, and you're like, whoa, dude, calm down. What's the difference?
You left out sexless murderer.
Okay, well, see, allegedly. Not the sexless part, but the murderer part.
Teach their own.
same table and we feel really comfortable with ourselves.
No, I
we
didn't.
should question that at any table that we're at, and we should be working.
I will say Michelle Obama is Tyler Perry's best role. The fact that he kept it up for 8 years is fucking amazing to me. I think that his commitment to acting.
I thought it was Jordan Peele.
No. You have it mistaken.
She looks more like Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele has been playing Condoleezza Rice for many years. It's a whole different. It's a whole thing. You don't know about this.
Oh, fuck.
You had your conspiracy theories. I have mine.
Look, we can shit on Hillary Clinton. We can shit on Michelle Obama.
Well, you don't like Tyler Perry presents a first lady?
As long as we all agree to leave the lovely Laura Bush out of it.
Oh no, we will not. We will never.
Don't
down,
ever attack
never.
Laura Bush.
That woman is a saint.
You'll catch these fucking hands.
That
bruh.
woman is a saint. Yeah.
Fucking George W. Bush going around. Hey, sorry your legs got blown off of my useless wars. Here's a painting of a dog. Hope that makes up for it.
actively to mix it up so that we're getting a real broad range of
No, the problem is too many broads.
Yeah, we got way too many broads.
Too many broads.
Just every time there's a major issue now, it's just repeal the 19th. I still say it every time.
Hashtag repeal the 19th.
perspectives on every issue. But I would see that in Congress. I mean, one of the most interesting points I told you about this. It usually.
How did you see that in Congress? Because once they're in session, they're probably like, Miss First Lady, could you leave, please?
She's going to run for president.
Congress is in session.
She's going to run for president.
She's not going to run for president first. She's got to do a Hillary deal. Like she's got
gonna
to be
run
a
for Senate of
senator. or
Chicago.
something. Yeah.
She's going to run for
Oh,
senator
yeah.
in
She'll go to Chicago because that'll be a fucking
it'll be a
slam dunk.
It's easy. She'll go be a senator of Chicago.
Dude, her running for senator well, I mean, it has to be senator of Illinois.
Illinois, yeah.
Or
sorry.
congressman of one of the districts
Correct.
in Chicago.
Oh, good point. Congressman in
It would be like playing Tecmo Bowl as the Raiders.
And
it's
playing
a fucking
Bo
slam.
Jackson.
Yeah, that's
She's
it.
Bo
All right.
Jackson.
Yeah, this is it. But she's
But
literally
my
Bo
point
Jackson.
is, I think that's the angling. No, I don't think she's going to go from first lady to president, but I believe that's going to be the next angling point. That's what they're doing. That's why the Obama Foundation is going on. And I'm not going to run. Yeah, everyone says that. You're going to run. That's what you're going to do.
I can't wait till she.
directly
I
for
can't wait till
president.
she runs for president and loses, and then we all realize as a nation that it's not Hillary we hate; it's women.
And when she loses to Melania Trump, it's going to be hilarious. Melania Trump. Sorry.
Yeah,
it's gonna be
Melina
hilarious.
is the bad girl from
Sorry,
Street Fighter.
I was just playing Street Fighter, and that's what happens. I get
Katana's
confused.
sister.
Yes,
but yeah, they
troopers. Sorry,
they're gonna.
But yeah,
She's
the
gonna
state of
lose,
the-
and then we're all gonna realize together as a nation that we just don't like women doing all this.
All the
telling us what, yeah, it's just like I get it, and I know I'm gonna get flack for being like, that's anti-feminist. It's fine, but 50%. See, here's the thing: 50% of that, the world is men, and 50% are women, roughly, give or take.
We're in the awesome half.
Women are better at shutting up and listening to men.
Are they?
Than men will ever be shutting up and listening to women. We
No.
can't.
We're good at shutting up, but
Even if-
the processing of information, we turn our brain off.
Exactly.
I
Even-
just don't.
Even if you are a woman in a position of authority and power over me, get a buffer. Have a man pass down the information because I'm never gonna it's just a thing where it's shrill. We are going to go to. All right, enough of you. I'd rather have Trump calling people fatties and idiots on Twitter.
At least that's entertaining, right?
Seriously, yeah, unlike any woman ever.
All right. Well, that's not true. Amy Schumer's male writers are very good.
Yeah, Amy Schumer and the guys she bangs are really funny, and Kurt Metzger's really funny.
Leave Dolph Ziggler out of this.
And fucking what's her face? Sarah Silverman was really funny when she banged Jimmy Kimmel.
Are you implying that any woman who's funny has good male writers?
Can you stop sending me the photoshops?
Oh yeah, they keep.
While we're on the
they keep coming in. They keep coming in.
Really distracting.
They keep coming in.
Yeah, we have been getting photoshopped to death lately, and it's fun, but it's distracting me.
All right. Well, speaking of someone who looked like she was photoshopped.
Union address, where you sit in the balcony and watch the State of the Union.
You know, like you do.
Yeah, like you do.
I was
you see
literally,
it on
as she
TV,
said,
and
like you do, I was thinking in my head, is this bitch so out of touch that she's like, you know how it is when you're sitting on the balcony watching the fucking State of the Union address.
You know.
When you got your Secret Service detail, they're pestering you. Oh, this out of touch bitch.
I'm in the room, but when you're in the room, what you can see is this real dichotomy. That on one side of the room, it's a feeling of color almost.
African American.
Room.
That's
It's
the problem, though.
literally
You're
gray and
13% of the
white.
population, and in
Literally,
recent
that's
years,
the
there's
color
too much
palette.
feeling of color. We're getting a little fucking tired of it. We're getting tired of massive amount. Dude, so many minorities teaming up to go, yay, now we're a majority. Guess what? All together combined, you're still not. So fucking stop it. Just enough. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Get a little
One
fucking
side
angry.
of the room. On the other side of the room, there's yellows and blues and whites and greens. Physically, there's a difference in color, in the tone.
And bone structure,
Well, yellows
and
are-
DNA, and crime statistics.
Because one side, all men, all white. On the other side, some women, some people of color. And whenever I was sitting, I would always have a guest in that booth. And I was always the most embarrassed at the beginning when people would see that. Because I'd say,
I was the most embarrassed that you were our first lady, and I didn't fucking see me go on about it. I mean, what are you gonna do?
I was less embarrassed that you were our first lady than I was that your husband was our president. If I'm being fair, I don't have as much of a problem with her because she's just the look at how important my husband is. Like she's literally every American woman with a powerful husband. Oh, my husband accomplished things, so listen to me. She's not as unbearable as the guy who tripled our fucking national debt. That guy I find a bit intolerable.
Yeah, but what about all the dudes Obama fucked? How come they don't have a say?
Hey,
Allegedly.
whoa.
Allegedly.
Whoa.
Allegedly.
Hey, $65,000 worth of hot dogs. Did you dial it back?
I'm saying that Obama did write in his book that he thought about being gay, didn't
Yeah.
he?
And then he did it.
And
with,
then he actually
with his mouth and asshole.
Allegedly.
And now, I would like for you to put your cock in my mouth.
That is it just me? Am I looking at how governance works? And people look down at that and go, yeah, that looks good. That looks right. We're probably getting a lot done and we're doing it right.
Like you did for 8 years. Exactly like you did for 8 years. And all you did was ruin school lunches for kids.
Really, all you did
was ruin school lunches for kids?
Dude, as soon as she just touched it, everybody was like, "Can you bring pizza and Taco Day back?"
For the love of
This
God.
is fucking miserable. Like, school is already a miserable hellscape. Me and Royce were driving. This was before we were even doing Revenge of the Sis. It was a couple months ago or a year ago. We were on doing something. We passed the school and we realized, like, how much schools and prisons just look exactly
Identical.
the same. So it's like it's already this gray, miserable, fucking socially whatever diverse social justice warrior hellscape, and then on top of it, you're gonna take pizza and tacos away. You are a fucking demon woman for that.
It is really bad.
That's evil. That's like literally if you're running a concentration camp and you were like, hey, by the way, get rid of Taco Day. Like, it's already bad enough.
on.
Let them have Taco Day.
That's all they have.
Christ. Jesus. More steamed
You know,
carrots.
I look at that and I go, no wonder. No wonder we struggle. No wonder people don't trust politics. It's
This should
we're
not
even-
be a fucking round of applause town hall meeting. This should be an Instagram live video. That's how little this bitch has to offer in terms of new ideas, any kind of fun. It's just words spewing out of a woman's mouth.
Are you saying it should be, hey guys, this is Flotus 6945.
A lot of people have been asking me.
A lot of people have been asking me, like, what are my thoughts? And hold on, my cat walked in. Hold on. Come here. Mom, give me a second. Anyway, a lot of people have been asking me, like, what are my thoughts on the government? And it's like, I watch a lot of news articles, and it, like, hurts my feelings that there's just too many white men.
Donate to my Patreon, patreon.com/I peg my super powerful husband and his asshole with a dildo on a weekly basis.
That's really wordy.
I know, but, you know, I got a tiny URL. And
But yeah, patreon.com/Obama was taken.
noticing what these rooms look
It was
like.
taken by Hillary Clinton.
But it's not just politics. I mean, I'm sure we can go in any C-suite in this country and we'd see the same.
You're a C-suite?
And
thing.
by the way, I saw the Alex Jones video. It sounds like you have a sweet C, too.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Nice fucking big one. That's a handful.
Yeah. So until we are ready to fight for that, which means some people have to be willing to give up their seats to make room, or you need to be ready to add more seats. We're gonna.
Are we talking about buses? or?
No, because apparently in
FEMA
her
camps?
in her mind, she's talking about congressional seats. In her mind, the congressional seats work is, again, affirmative action taken to its final fucking destination is this. Is that means now we have to have more people of color in there, not the most qualified people, not the people that people vote for, not the people that the government elects. No, we need, or that the public elects. We have to have people in there based just solely on their gender and their race, because that's going to fix the country. Because Germany's doing fucking a bang up job right now. Sorry.
Wait, but they're not doing good.
I know they're not.
There's a lot of
It's
rapes and
exaggeration.
killings, and their
I'm being
economy's in
sarcastic.
shambles. Germany's not doing.
That's
Okay, I get it now. You were doing a joke. Like, they're doing good, but they're not really doing good. They're doing terrible, people. Stop. Make this country a meritocracy again. Okay? Be good at what you do.
Can we make America
and
America
you get
again?
the job?
Please. Can
Okay?
somebody please.
Stop setting quotas of minorities and women because guess what? Fucking Equifax happens. Google happens. Facebook
Are you
happens.
telling me that at Equifax having an art major run your security part of your company wasn't a great idea?
I'm telling you that that's a bad idea. I am telling you that Facebook having office buildings full of fat, angry, armpit hair having bitches fucking reviewing every complaint is probably a bad idea. Enough already. Holy shit. The fucking HuffPo, their editorial room could use a fucking testosterone injection. How great would it be if Bannon just bought fucking HuffPo? Fired everybody.
Can you imagine walking into the HuffPo editorial room and you just have to vomit because everything smells like pumpkin spice? And you know they're all in the same cycle too. By the way, that's a true thing.
We're gonna buy HuffPo. We're gonna start a GoFundMe. We're gonna buy HuffPo. We're gonna give it to Steve Bannon
Because Ariana Huffington, the one that owns a helicopter, is the woman of the people.
I just think that these regular people they need to have these things. The President Trump is not the man to give him these things. It's fucking dumb whore.
You're going to tell me now, again, after seeing Kimmel and after seeing all this, that the media doesn't have 100% hitmen and people out there specifically put out there to not only make people like us and make other shows on YouTube, other conservative shows look bad or make us, or again, use feelings to try to make us look like we have no moral center when for years the conservatives are the ones been saying, hey, how about we stop killing babies? But again, Jimmy Kimmel won't sit there and defend, Planned Parenthood using baby parts to fucking fund their machine.
Also,
that's perfectly fine.
Also, everything the left does to attack us, it's mislabeling us. For one, they try to make us sound like we're fucking war hawks. Those are the goddamn neocons. All the fucking Republicans that work. Oh man, these guys are commendable. They go across the aisle. All those fucking bipartisan retards. They're the neocons. They're the ones that get us in these fucking globalist bank building wars where we kill Gaddafi and destabilize an entire fucking region. It's not fucking conservatives that do that shit. It's not fucking conservative right-wingers that have anything to do with National Socialism. That is a leftist platform. So the left has this fucking genius ability to somehow lump us in with things that have not more to do with them than it has to do with us. Fucking National Socialism is leftism. It's socialism. Fucking, let's go nation building and blah, blah, blah. That's not a fucking Republican ideal at all. Conservatives believe in small government, not killing babies, not building nations that collapse every fucking 5 years. The entire population wants to kill us. If we're not in fucking Syria dropping bombs and shit, there wouldn't be any goddamn refugees. These are all liberal globalist fucking policies. I'm tired of these people mind fucking the American public into thinking that we're responsible for their sins.
That's the thing. I'm not going to be shamed for being for the Second Amendment. I don't care what you say or what you do. This is what happens when you live in a free republic. Yes, I understand that that 50 people wouldn't have been killed even have a gun. But how many people are killed when someone drives a fucking truck in a fucking center in Barcelona? When a bomb explodes and kills people? The problem is that you are trying to use freshly dead bodies, some of them who aren't even cold yet, and stand on top of them, Jimmy Kimmel specifically, because notice that, dude. The moment Jimmy
ban guns and healthcare for my kid, even though I'm a fucking billionaire. Enough of you.
Music. Jason Aldean was on stage. Luke
This
Combs,
is
who was
so
here with us
fucking
tonight, he joined the show too, and
manufactured.
obviously, no one could have ever expected that something terrible would happen, but it did. A very sick person smuggled 17 guns into his hotel room and smashed out the windows, started firing indiscriminately from the 32nd floor into a crowd of 22,000 people across the street. And as a result of that,
This
morning,
fucking guy,
he
man.
had-
Oh! I'm sorry. I know we try to make it through these clips.
I know.
But I want to fucking punch him right now in his fake, affected, smug face. You
But my point
fucking
is-
lying, fucking media, you know what.
But my point is, this is exactly what I mean. The moment that Jimmy Kimmel sided, because apparently your son having a heart disease makes you qualify to comment on gun control. But the moment that he sided with Democrats, now he's their golden boy. They've infiltrated his show. That's what it is. Now, I want to remind everybody, this is the same Jimmy Kimmel that not many years ago was wearing blackface and playing Karl Malone on The Man Show, and, again, making women jump up and down on trampolines in bikinis. The SJWs, if Mancha was out now, would have fucking crucified you. You know what the difference between you and Adam Carolla is? Adam Carolla never fucking sold out, Jimmy.
Yeah,
Adam
he never
Carolla,
changed.
He stayed true to who he was, and he didn't fucking go to Hollywood and became this thing. He started his own program. He believes what he believes. He's pretty fucking red-pilled. And at the end of the day, you know, he stayed true to his morals. You sold out, that's it, to the fucking establishment system again, and you're just going to say what they have to say, because let me tell you something, 50 people died. Does that mean I want the Second Amendment taken away? No. 100 people? No. Why? Because the same fucking government, the same people that are saying the government is fascist, it has too much power, are now saying only the government should have guns. Make up your fucking mind.
And now, what do you get? What do you get by being such a fucking sellout phony? Because I get
this. He gets this. What
I'm saying is, you get a couple more bucks than Carolla. You get a show where I'm sure the network pays a lot of money to get you likes and clicks and comments and all this manufactured shit. But nobody's watching you, Kimmel. Like, yeah, okay, fine. You're Jimmy Kimmel. People reference you when they talk about it. No, people aren't watching your show anymore. You're not fucking Carson. You're not Bob Hope. You're not any of these guys. You're not Letterman. You're a fucking. You're like a fucking. What you're amongst 7 to 15 late night hosts now, just fucking spitting out your garbage, your liberal gibberish. Stop, you fucking piece of garbage. Nobody believes your crocodile tears. You manufactured fucking, this is just gross, man. The fucking media, I've had it.
Hold on, let him
Fathers
cry.
without sons, mothers without daughters. We lost 2 police
Oh,
officers.
come on.
Oh,
We're sons without daughters. You fucking fake faggot. Enough of you.
He lives in Malibu, by the way. He was nowhere near this when it happened.
It's the kind of thing that it makes you want to throw up or give up.
Like watching the Jimmy Kimmel show lately.
You know what Jimmy Kimmel sounds like? He sounds like me in high school when I knew, like, oh shit, I'm in trouble. You know what I mean? Like, I could turn on that weak ass level of like, all right, well, you might get expelled for this. You know, sometimes you.
Yep, you pull it up.
You go in a packed crowd, and it's just look. I have a lot going on at home right now.
Look,
My parents.
Look, if my parents find out, I'm gonna have to go to military school. I don't want to go to military school.
Fucking fake.
Fucking come on,
this
dude.
is manufactured, classic Lugenpress. That's what it is.
It's too much to even process. All these devastated families who now have to live with this pain forever because one person with a violent and insane voice in his head managed to stockpile a collection of high-powered rifles.
Kind of like the Obama administration stockpiled a collection of automatic rifles and send them into Mexico. Hey, you think he was crying when federal agents were killed? When the government was putting these guns in the hands of illegal cartels?
No, because you don't understand, man. That
Oh,
was
okay.
different because Obama and he's
Okay.
our hope and change.
Okay.
Fucking political hack.
Got it.
I hope you're fucking. You know what? I hope Jimmy Kimmel's son dies. Give a fuck. Fuck him.
And use this
I
to
want
shoot
him
people.
to feel real tears now. Every time you fucking do this, okay? Every time you go on national television and go to push an agenda, you deserve to truly feel the pain you faked on television. I hope Jimmy Kimmel loses a loved one.
The guy was an accountant. He had no criminal record. His brother, who lives in Florida, seems totally shocked, genuinely dumbfounded.
Notice how we even struggled to jump to conclusions when we were talking about this. This is yesterday. He's already jumped to all the conclusions. He knows everything that happened. He doesn't even realize if gun control would have even stopped this because it wouldn't have.
I wonder how many times you fucking emailed back and forth with Podesta, you fucking scumbag.
He said he saw no sign of.
Yeah, of course Podesta's going to know all the fucking best baby surgeons. No wonder you went to him.
Listen, I'll save your kid's heart, but I got to make a deal with you.
Did you know that the baby's anus and their heart is very similar? I got a guy. Thank you. I wasn't even going to say it. Allegedly.
Oh, man. Hey, Jimmy, does your kid like pizza?
And ping pong? Boy, do I got the place for you.
Yeah. Oh, my God. We're going to kill 3 birds with 1 stone. Did I say I meant 2 birds with 1 stone? Sorry. Sorry. Very confused.
Any of this. The owner of the store that sold the killer some of the rifle said he passed the government mandated.
It's amazing.
Did he pass it?
It's amazing that he had to start crying right when the cameras were on.
Yeah, tell me more of these DNC talking points, you fucking shill. I hope Jimmy Kimmel's son gets fucked to death by a polar bear.
Background check when he was in the store. He wasn't on any watch list. Didn't seem to have been a religious or political extremist. Came out of nowhere, and because of that, because there weren't.
Worst monologue ever. At least Carson was funny.
Can you imagine if Jay Leno was still around?
Oh, Red Pill Jay Leno doing this, I would pay any money to hear.
Well, listen,
fucking
folks, listen, we're coming off the heels of a really horrible attack. I just want to take a moment right now to talk to my audience. And you folks know these goddamn Zionist Jews got together and they launched this false flag attack in Las Vegas. They killed 58 people, Kevin. Believe that? They killed 58 people. These goddamn, you know who they are. It's the Zionists. It's the Saudi Arabians. We're artificially propping up Israel. And meanwhile, they're doing some sleight of hand. They're going to take our guns away. They're not taking guns away in Israel, Kevin. It's not happening. These insidious kikes, Kevin. You don't understand what they're doing. I've been on 4chan all week. I was on poll for hours. I was so tired. I was up till 4 in the morning reading this stuff, Kevin. What they're planning, it's just downright awful. That's not the Jay Leno version, though. You got to get the 90s Jay Leno one.
I got it.
Take the fucking one from the late shift. It's just like, these people that come out, and they're working behind the scenes. You're not going to see them. You're not going to hear them. Stephen Paddock, triple parentheses. Do the math. These people, they're everywhere. They're gonna do gun control, and then eventually we're just gonna keep fighting Israel's wars.
Now, is it true that you only wear denim clothes because you found out most cotton stuff is made in Israel?
That's true. I won't do it. That's why I say bring slavery back.
Oh,
that way I can get American cotton.
I don't think Kevin's agreeing with that.
And I don't think Kevin. Are you with me on this? I mean, I'd be a really good slave owner. I'd be like,
no, man, I don't got a comment on that one.
No, man, I'd be like George Washington. As soon as I die, I'll set you free. It'll be okay.
I don't know what you just said, man, but you're cracking me up.
And look into it right now. Like Jimmy Kimmel, we all know he's a Jew. He fucking banged a lot of Jews. He's got the roots on, I don't know, Questlove. He seems like he's got a big nose.
Jimmy Fallon.
He does have to. I don't know. I've been out of the scene a long time.
Okay.
Never since the Conan thing, I don't like to talk about it anymore. But Conan and then that goddamn, that fucking gefilte fish eating Andy Richter, they stole my fucking show. They were trying to take things from me.
I think Jay Leno's been sitting in his classic car salon with the garage closed, and it's gone to his brain.
There's too much. You can dismiss my opinions all you want, but you're the one out there shilling for these Zionists. You got Saudi Arabia, $100 billion in arms. What is going on? These guys, they got the banks. Who do you think is going to give out the loan to Mandalay Bay to fix the windows? It's going to be the Jews, Kevin. It's always the Jews.
You're right, man. It is always the Jews, Jay.
See, now we're talking.
You're crazy, Jay.
It's like I'm George Lincoln Rockwell and you're Elijah Muhammad. We're getting along here. It's the synergy.
I don't know who that is, but that's hilarious, Jay.
That is how Kevin would react.
That's all he would do. Fucking Kevin. All right, well, it's time to show because it's time to end.
Yeah, guys, check out our Patreon and eat Doritos. They're good for you.
Patreon.com/We're Not Sorry.
Thanks for joining us for our bonus episode 16, Revenge of the Sis. Patreon.com.
You know what?
We're not sorry.
We did this bonus episode because we had some new patrons yesterday. And we're gonna fuck.
Yeah.
Every time you give, we'll just pop out these extra episodes just
Yeah,
for you.
kick in a couple of bucks. We'll do more shows.
Yeah. Big thanks to Mad America Network for having us on yesterday,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah, awesome. And we're going to be doing some stuff with them every Monday now. So
Yeah.
stay tuned
Subscribe
for
on
that.
iTunes and all those other places.
Rate us on iTunes. For fuck's sake, they're holding off on us.
All right, guys. We're out of here.
First rhythm.